Thank you so much, guys, for that warm welcome. It was not something I'm very used to at a school, especially where I come from. So I today have not come here to just preach or talk about all the achievements or everything we've done and doing, but very simply talk about the reality of what starting something is and then consistently doing it for 3 years now to grow it to where we see in the next 5 years. So I'm going to talk about the three groups, which primarily the three lives in a way that you normally hear across this entire generation about startups. Number one is nobody knows what they're doing. Bottom line is, no matter how confident anybody looks in this room, any founder, anybody, nobody knows what they're doing. The true essence of doing something like this, doing entrepreneurship, is not knowing what you're doing, but doing it with confidence. And eventually you will figure it out. The second part of this lie is the only way you get the truth is actually the only way you get confidence is through action. You do not get confidence through looking at yourself in the mirror and motivating yourself, friends pushing you to get on top of something, whatever it is. The reality is that confidence comes only and only through action, execution, as simple as that. In 2021, I started my own protein smoothie brand in my home called Blaze Blends. And it was all about the idea of not doing something in COVID. We all were sitting. So I wanted to make time productive. So what I did is I went to the kitchen and I figured that since the past 3 months, 4 months, I've been consuming these protein smoothies for myself. Why not sell it? I did not have any idea of how to do an F&B brand. I'm the first one in my family to do something like that. I had no idea. But the idea was that I had an Instagram account myself. I had a camera and I went all out by promoting what I didn't know it was in the first place. And about 3, 4 months of starting Blaze Blends to promoting this movie brand, we're just waking up and posting a singing video saying, hey, we're available from 12 p.m. to 12 to 4 p.m. for orders. And if you're interested, please DM or WhatsApp me on my number. Not realizing that how many people get my number and call me for college events. That's separate. When one of my mentors kind of came up to me and he just simply told me one thing is that his business that time was 150 crore top line and I was really looking after him. I called him up and I just had a word with him and I spoke to him about all the shit I was going through. The one simple thing he told me was, I no matter how big my business is, I myself don't want to do it. I just love it, so I do it. And in the past 5 years, it has become what it is. That overnight changed everything. Anything. My entire point of view changed in life. So what I did next was very simple. I went back to the book. I understood what I wanted to turn this entire brand into, business, and I realized it was nothing close to what I was building, but it was past 1 year I was doing that. Waking up in the morning, selling a smoothie online, coming back home, and literally just selling from home. Again, delivering it from 4 to 8 p.m. It was a havoc, and I trust me, there's a part of me do not want to go back to those days because they were very different. If I want to grow this to another level, I think I need to market research. Now, what kind of market research? Search on my laptop, talk to people, nothing. The simple way of doing the best market research is being in the market. And if I wanted to serve India, I needed to be in India. I did Blaze Blends pop-ups across India, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Indore, Pune, everywhere in Mumbai, Delhi, every single where, just understanding what is demand and what to think about a product that I've created out of my bedroom. I met my co-founder and I discussed an idea with him which I wanted to build. And we collectively came up with one drink, shaping whatever we were building at that time, a cool beverage brand. We sell it in cans. We were just experimenting, doing pop-ups, cloud kitchens, Bandra, Andheri. It was a shit show. We didn't know what we were doing. Our first year was hardly any revenue. Tried to sell 10, 15 drinks a day. It was something that I could never have imagined. I would have had to go through to start something which would be consumer facing, beverage business. It feels cool. It has its own charm, but that was the first year. The second year, we got some confidence. After 1 year spending in the business, we did events, pop-ups, like Nike Land, talk about Live, which is also happening as we speak. A lot of these events, and that's when I realized that the key essence of drink was the offline experience, which I was totally not doing. Not that we didn't also have the funds, but we figured that we were doing something wrong, and that was pretty much the business model. So again, just one take you all can take out of this is it's what you're doing may not be the wrong thing. It's probably where you're doing it. And the cloud kitchen wasn't for us. Events, okay, it was a great way of establishing. Then out of some confidence, we opened a small 150 square foot store on Pali Hill, 20 lakh rupees. 5, 6 lakh, 10 lakh rupees is what we had made in the past, and 10 lakh rupees I had taken from my friends and family. In 20 lakh rupees, we opened that small store on Pali Hill, 150 square foot called Drink. Just takeaway drinks, and just idea was to be present. We knew for a fact that that was the worst model ever. That was something I never saw a drink to be in. A small 150 square foot space, hardly any space to. You couldn't walk, you couldn't do anything in that space. But I was like, you know what? I think we should do it. And over time, we will probably figure out what's actually right for drink. We spent 3 months doing our entire best marketing the space, and we saw days we never expected. Our sales were top notch, everything was great until the fourth month where everything dropped. The world felt like it's going to end at that time. Sales were 80% down. I didn't know what I was doing. And at that time, I remember that I had reached at 9 a.m. We opened the shop at 9:30. I opened the shutter and it was sat on my shop at 9. And I was like, shit, I don't feel like opening it. Because it was such a phase where I actually felt like quitting, shutting the shop, telling my landlord, sorry, sir, I'm paying you this month, but I'm not coming back. And I was going to pull the plug that day. But that's when I remembered one of my favorite sayings of all time is the saying goes like, today is difficult, tomorrow is even more difficult, and day after is bright and sunny. Most people die tomorrow evening. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to die tomorrow evening. This is probably the start of everything I've wanted to build. And I won't believe next day, I'm not even joking, not exaggerating. Next day in the morning, I got a mail from Nikhil Kamat's team. Like, hey, we like the work you're doing. We want to know more about it. Well, should I talk about yesterday or should I talk about past 3 months? Because clearly you wouldn't want to be part of yesterday. And we got on a call with full confidence explaining and talking about what drink can be. It can be 100 takeaway stores. Knowing in my mind that even one was not working at that time properly. And one thing again, that takeaway is that confidence, action, clarity. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to be confident on that call in front of a guy who's like 50,000 crores and had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But I still was trying to figure out. And end of the call, he called a bullshit. He's like, listen, I don't think so. You guys know what you're doing. So we will hold this for the next time. See you in 6 months. We went hardcore. We went again hardcore on events, pop-ups, music festivals, left, right, and we did 15 events in a month. No breathing space. Literally every city we covered. We drink in 2 months. But if you know what, we're going to get this investment. We're going to get revenue. You're not only going to get revenue from the store, but we'll get it from everywhere possible world. And why we did that, I'm sure God's grace, our sales started increasing a little at the store and started stabilizing back to what it used to be. 60% of what it used to be, but it started stabilizing. And that's when he again, we reached out. Hey, you know what, our PNL is better if you want to give him a call. That exact moment, he said, no. We did not prepare for you. We everything used to be last night. Then we got so in a way he had kind of set a thing where they called about 200 of his friends, little friends, and his birthday party September 4th, 2024. 24th September was his birthday party where he called his birthday on 5th, 4th he called everybody and he made me meet my mentor Riaz Mani, the founder of Social Impresari. And somehow we always gel well together. Like Riaz, my mentor today, told me 10 years ago that Farid, you're doing the wrong model because your sales are this. People are liking your experience at events. People are not coming to your takeaway. They're giving feedbacks of sitting for longer. Understand what your customer truly wants and open up a bigger store. This is what he told me. I went back. This was in that same day. I had a data of about 200 customers. I called up every single customer myself for the next 4 5 days, asking what they think about drink, what drink should be, and what can be improved. In those 1 week, I realized, that, you know what? I took out the entire summary. I typed it on ChatGPT and I said, okay, what do I do exactly to satisfy these customers? And the first thing is that open a bigger space. Second is that open at a better location. And third thing is that come up with a new category. And I was like, wait, do I have to shut the store? Of course, but I had to open the second one in Bandra. That instant, I called my landlord and told him, listen, I'm not pulling out of this deal. He said, I have to serve a notice. Because when you get out of a deal too early, you have to serve a notice. I didn't know. And I was trying to convince him that, yeah, yeah. I'm 20 years old, what can you expect out of me? And ruthless. He's like, even if you need a give me rent for the next 3 months. And that is also one learning that I had. His broker called me up and said that, "Dude, if you don't pay the rent for the next 3 months, we're going to blacklist you from the entire uh, broker society in Bangalore." That cannot happen. I need another space ASAP. So instantly, what happened is I had some stock money put in my stocks. I sold that. I paid all the rents entirely next day, cleared it, and I shut my store earlier. And I'm like, you know what? It's November right now. I'm going to keep the store shut for the next how many of months, but I'm going to find the right spot. And how am I going to make money at that time? Events. Because Jan, Feb, March, April were hardcore event season. So we were paying salaries to doing these pop-ups and events. And in that entire process of doing these events, we found a location. We won the trust of Nikhil because of our entire decision of shutting the store and everything. We got his money. We got his investment on board. We instantly opened the flagship 3 months later as soon as we got the funds. And it was, it changed my life. It was 2 years since Drink had started. Drink is actually complete 3 years, April 14th, in the next 3 days. It was 2 years at that time. Like, once every 2 years. And I spoke to Raj. We sat on the road, on the footpath where the store is right behind us. And we're like, you know what, it's been 2 years. And I think now we've kind of got an idea of how we to do. But let's see if this works. Don't have any idea. We launched it. It changed everything. Um, with the tiramisu latte, with our matcha menu, overall, overnight, 3 months down the line, Drink became the highest revenue generating cafe of Bandra, especially per square foot. And this was very new to me. And that moment, I was like, you know what, I think we know what we're doing, but let's keep on moving in the flow. We were told by a bunch of people that, hey, you know what, your revenue, your this. In a lot of investors, VCs, by the way, VCs are a waste of time, guys. I'm saying this absolutely right now. VCs are a waste of time. VCs are venture capitalists, investors. They will waste your time. They will call you on call, understand your business, and they will probably share that data to someone else who's they've already invested in. Do not waste time with investors. Do not waste time with VCs. Just focus on your product. Just focus on your business. Focus on your customers, because that is everything. That is pretty much everything. VCs are just a glorified. It's a glorified thing in today's day. It doesn't matter. But one fine day, one VC asked me, "This is your revenue. Great, love it. Your MIS looks beautiful. Explain me drink in a sentence." I go, what will I say? Matcha, tiramisu latte, Bandra, cafe. I had no idea, even though we were an operating business with whatever was happening. And again, guys, it, the reality is that every single one who you probably look up to also, they do not know that. It's just the entire idea is that okay, we have to set a persona and we have to act to that persona and we cannot break in front of anybody. So we continue life. And that turns out to be what you see on Forbes, Guru, Rich List, etc. But the reality is that people actually don't know what they're doing. Confidence only comes from action. If you do not take that action, if you do not execute, you will never know. You will never be confident in your life. I'm telling you one thing, guys. I'm saying it brutally. Yes, you may look very good, you may be very fit, you may have the best watch, you may have the best shoes, the best car, but the only thing that gives good satisfaction and confidence is when a customer tells you they love your product repeatedly and have a good bottom line. Nothing else matters. That is life 20 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 5 minutes down the line. Till the time you are not making money, you're not going to enjoy life. Let's be honest. No matter what you become, a son, a guru, a mom, whatever, even a mom wants money. Everybody, it's all about the money. So I'm not saying in every case, okay, you have to just run behind the money, but you have to do something without expecting for 3 years that you will make money. 3 years kuch karna padega without any expectations. And then when you reach over there, and I also have this thing I say, that 1,000 day rule is that for the first 1,000 days of your business, you give everything. 1,000 days later, if it does not show you result, either shut it or if it's doing well, you grow it. And we're completing 1,000 days in like 3 days. So I was shit scared last year. So, but anyways, the point is I digressed a lot, and that was not part of my speech. Promise, I apologize. But most of it was part of my speech. Actually. But bottom line is, and the most important thing is, guys, clarity. Clarity is not something you will have in the start. You will probably start with a product A and you will sell Z 3 years down the line. What I had on my menu in the first year, I do not have anything close to it now on my menu at all. I don't have nothing. Nothing is same. So if you want feedback from anybody on what you're doing, get in the market, sell and get the feedback. You want validation, get in the market, sell your product. You want validation from family, society, get in the market and start selling. The only thing that will give you peace in life is sales, selling, and a good brand recognition, which you will build over the years. So, know one thing, guys, execution is the most important. Staying in the business is even more important when you're going through hell. But don't forget, one thing is to start and to bloody execute before anything else comes to mind, because execution is king. Thank you so much, guys.